The first material that will make your labels more waterproof and water resistant, that is also the cheapest one and the most resistant, is plastic. Usually while printing we use polypropylene or PET or PVC, and plastic, being a polymer, will be one of the strongest solutions. The only downside is that your product will probably look cheaper with a plastic material. If you want to give your product a more eco-friendly or natural look, you will probably need more natural paper or even coated paper. So number 2, coated papers. Coated papers have a similar surface to plastics because they can be both glossy or matte, but they are actually made from pulp, from cellulose. Beware, not all the coated papers are waterproof or water resistant. You need to ask to your supplier if the paper that he or she will use to produce your labels is water resistant. Usually they have a name next to the name of the paper, like WS, which means wet strength, or plus. And these papers will have a good resistance to water and humidity. But beware, wet strength will not be enough if your product will end up in an ice bucket. So extremely cold temperatures and also water. Next, we have natural papers. Natural papers are the best if you want to give a natural and a more eco-friendly look to your adhesive label for your spirit or your liqueurs. Same thing as the coated papers, you want to ask your supplier for a wet strength or plus material, because the regular natural paper will not resist to water and humidity. Natural papers are usually more expensive than coated papers. Coated papers are similar to plastics, price-wise. Next, we have the strongest solution and also the most expensive, that will be having a coated paper or a natural paper that is WS, so wet strength, also with a barrier. We call them barrier papers. These papers usually have a plastic barrier underneath the actual paper before the adhesive. They will make them much more sturdier and stronger. Usually the plastic barrier is something like 20 microns of polyethylene. And if you don't want to use plastics and your product needs anyway to end up in the ice bucket, you can choose barrier papers. If you're looking for a more natural look, this won't be a very good option. I will go for the natural or coated paper. You wouldn't have any plastic mixed with actual paper pulp, which will make it more difficult to recycle. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any future videos about e-commerce, packaging and designing your products. Don't forget to hit the like button if you like this video and share it with all of your friends and colleagues. If you have more questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section down below and I'll be glad to answer back to each one of them. And as always, love you all. Ciao!